Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am the AYoN.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm Envy Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're back. It's time to do... So we don't have a particular,
The Duel.
time to duel! Yeah, sort of. Okay, so we don't have a particular theme going on right now. We're between themed stretches of time. But I wanted to do this one because what was the last thing from last week? It was Ghost Stories. Fun-ass dub. And this was a fun-ass dub. We watched Duel Masters, which I'm a fan of. I loved it when I was a kid, and I've had so much fun learning more about it this last week that I've been looking things up about it. So, and I'm actually... Okay, if you can't tell, I've had a couple drinks. Don't worry about that. I am looking up Duel Masters cards online to, see if I can buy them somewhere, because I did play this a lot as a kid, but they're all in Japanese, and no one has any of the English ones. I'm kind of pissed off about it, but that's not the point. How did you guys like the show this week?
I'm just kind of picturing you rolling up to the card tournaments with Duel Masters and being like, why doesn't anybody duel me?
I'm pretty sure they discontinued it in America after a certain number of series, so I know the later cards will not be in English, but I'm even looking for wait, do I still? Hang on. Do you guys talk amongst yourselves? I need to go check a drawer.
Okay, so do we want to give, our basic, just sort of a basic opinion of what we thought of this?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll go first. So I did watch the dub. I watched the one that was the very small cropped squares on that one playlist on YouTube that happened to have the episode playing 2 times in a row.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I found them.
On YouTube or on Tubi?
Yeah, I didn't want to make a Tubi account, so.
Oh, you have to make an
You
account
don't
for
have to
that
make
shit?
an account.
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't. You can watch it with just the advertisements.
Oh,
I had to make an account to do it.
Oh.
there you go.
Weird.
Guys, I
did
found my
We
Duel
did
Master
not.
cards.
Ooh.
Nice.
I have...
Why don't you buy them?
What?
Why did you know exactly where they were?
Because I just remembered. I have a bunch of fun ones. We should play at some point. I'm getting off topic
I
too
have a
early.
question.
Yeah.
What card games didn't you play?
Okay, so as far as collecting goes, early on, I was, everyone got Pokemon cards in elementary school, so that was a thing.
Yeah, but nobody was actually playing it.
Well, I didn't play Pokemon right away. I got the Game Boy, Pokemon trading card game. That's where I actually learned how to play the game. You guys know that I played a couple things at, tournaments and stuff. Where's all my good ones? That must be in a different tin. Hang on. Yeah, so played Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Duel Masters, and I also did Digimon, because I was the one kid who liked Digimon. And
It was so much fun.
yeah, but I was literally the only person who ever had those cards. There was also a Harry Potter trading card game way back in the day, and
I
a
do
couple
remember
other
that.
things. What? You remember that?
do.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you have your cards, I might still have mine somewhere. We should play.
I remember it. I did not play it.
Okay, all right.
I remember the advertisements.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked a lot of different trading cards. Was never particularly good at any of them, but whatever. I think honestly, I'm air quotes an adult now. So I'm smart enough to figure out how to play some of these games. Oh, Magic the Gathering. I never got into that somehow.
Okay.
But that's fine because this is basically Magic the Gathering.
Most people don't get into it until they're older.
Yeah.
So we were in college at whatever that charity board game thing is that they always had every year, and my roommate played Magic. And I didn't have anything to do, so he was like, oh, you want to play Magic? I'm like, okay, yeah, teach me how to play Magic. So we played Magic. I'm like, is this Duel Masters, but just a little bit different? And
Yes, that's
so,
right.
yeah, I beat him on my first try, so I'm really good at card games. That or he let me win, I don't know.
I like that you brought up Digimon because I know you, I don't know if you said it on the recording last week, but you're like, oh, people think this is knockoff Yu-Gi-Oh!
That
But
is
if you
true.
were gonna compare, it's how Digimon is to Pokemon.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good description. Speaking of Magic the Gathering, I think the manga was originally supposed to be a Magic the Gathering manga, but he couldn't get the rights to it, so he made up his own card game. And it just so happened to be a lot like Magic the Gathering. And if
Wait, Magic the Gathering's that old?
Magic the Gathering's
Yes.
pretty old, but like if you need more proof, hang on, I gotta get the name. I have the Wikipedia up. Hang on, where's the card game? The guy who made Duel Masters, which is a guy, it was written by Shigenobu Matsumoto. He, after writing the manga, like bits of the manga, made the trading card game with the help of... Where is your name? There was a guy named Satoshi Nakamura, who was one of the top Magic the Gathering players in Asia. And he helped him make the game. We haven't talked about the anime yet. We're going to get through this card game shit first. So, and I'm not an authority on this or a genius or anything like that. So Duel Masters is basically just Magic the Gathering with maybe two differences. You have shields, and you don't have to worry about fucking lands cards, because each of your regular cards also counts as a lands card. So if you know how to play Magic, you know how to play Duel Masters. If you know how to play Duel Masters, you almost know how to play Magic. Cool.
I mean, Magic the Gathering, I don't know if it started out that way, but they do have summons that double as lands, and you can always sacrifice them to get your lands back anyway, so...
If that is the case, great, but I think they were like, whenever they were first doing this Duel Masters thing, they were like, you know what? This whole, we have to have half our deck full of lands cards? Fuck it. Every card is a lands card. Now it's just a bunch of cool monsters and spells and shit. And that's what they did. We should talk about the anime at some point. We're a couple minutes in. We haven't even... Did you guys talk about this when I was looking for my cards?
Well,
Oh, we tried, but then you came back.
I'm sorry. I ruined things.
Came back real quick.
Anywho, so what's this show about? It's a card game show, man. It's here to sell you cards.
Some kid whose dad was famous at the game, so he must obviously also be good at the game, except he's not.
I mean, is.
He's not good at the game.
He's not bad at the game.
He's not bad, but he's not good.
He only lost, like, one game, and that was, like, after winning a championship. I'd say that's a pretty good, like, starting run, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
He didn't remember the basic principle of, like, how much energy it was to cast something.
To
Well, that was
be
episode
fair,
3.
he
That
was
was episode 3.
You get coffee.
he was extremely intimidated by that guy in his Matrix coat. So...
No, that was episode 3 where he lost the mana. Episode
that's
2
what I'm
was-
saying. So, more specifically, this
No,
guy's name is...
because
What?
They do show that he has, like, a pretty even rivalry with Toru later on.
I forgot whether Toru came back.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the Seto Kaiba.
Oh, Toru. No, Toru's the green-haired guy.
Mhm.
I don't remember Toru coming back. Kokujo, I remember. Because that's who he's actually playing against.
Mhm.
God, I don't remember Toru that well. I want to say this. This is the first time I've seen this show since, like, 2004.
Yeah.
So... But I knew the dub was going to be fun, which is why I wanted you guys to watch it.
I was gonna say they were making some fun of it. They were making some jokes, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
very good.
It gets more and more as it keeps going.
Yeah. What studio was in charge of it?
Plastic Cow at this point. There were 2 seasons of this in English, and there were 3 different dubbing studios, so I don't know how that breaks down. And honestly, the seasons are like a whole lot... Hey, let me ask you guys something. This originally aired in 2002. It was 2 years after Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out. How many series and episodes do you think this show got? If you haven't already looked it up.
I mean, go ahead.
No, you first.
I would say maybe like 2 or 3.
2 or 3? Okay. So, like, what kind of episode count are you thinking? Somewhere in, like, the 150, something, 50 to 100?
If I'm thinking like maybe regular, like 26 episodes per thing, so somewhere around like 52 to like maybe 70 something.
Okay, reasonable guess. Anyone else got some guesses?
So, I do have a better idea of the answer now, but I would have originally guessed like 5 seasons at like 50 episodes.
That's not too bad of a guess. Not too bad of a guess at all. Envy, any thoughts?
I already looked.
You already looked?
got
Alright,
done
you don't get to
watching
say
it.
anything. You don't get to say anything.
Yeah.
Cece,
Yeah.
you got any thoughts?
I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so here's what's up. This thing has 19, possibly 21 seasons and over 875 episodes.
And it's
What?
still going.
Yeah, it's going. There are 2 currently running series from this franchise right now.
How?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I just learned this week, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. And honestly, the second season
You did
that
not learn it this week. You definitely learned it
Okay, fine, whatever.
last week, because when you told us what we were watching, I'm like, oh, I do remember this, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was in 2021?
This thing has been going around for 20 years. Not
Is it still-
just this show, but yeah.
Is
Okay.
it still popular in Japan?
It has to be. I can't explain it otherwise. So,
There's only the 2 seasons in English.
yeah, there's only 2 seasons in English, but even that's a weird thing. So, let me break this down for you. And I'm wondering whether I should just read this Wikipedia article thing or not. Okay. So you have Duel Masters, which is what we watched. It's 26 episodes, came out in 2002. Then there's the sequel series from 2004 called Duel Masters Charge. This is basically follows the manga. Then there is Zero Duel Masters, which is a redo of the first season, and then Duel Masters Zero, which is a sequel to the redo of the first season. So we kind of have like 2 different timelines going right now, which is then followed by Duel Masters Cross and Duel Masters Cross Shock. And then it follows a completely different protagonist, who's like the younger brother of Shobu, which doesn't exist in this one yet. Where you go through from Duel Masters Victory, Victory V, Victory V3, Victory Versus, or no, not Victory Versus, just Versus Revolution Final. And then they do that whole, we're just going to name this next season just the original thing, where it's just Duel Masters 2017 with another guy named Joe, who I guess is also related to him.
Joe.
Then it's Duel Masters ! Duel Masters 2! Duel Masters King! Duel Masters King Max, which, as whenever this Wikipedia article was written, is still currently going, and Duel Masters Win, which has yet another Kira Fruta protagonist, which started in September. Now, I don't know whether this thing just didn't get updated, and Max is done or still going, but apparently they have 2 different seasons with 2 different protagonists currently running right now, and that's not including the season 2 that I watched, or the spin-off series, because they have a spin-off series called Shinsekai Duel Masters Flash, and also another spin-off series that Hasbro tried to make called Kaijudo Masters of the Duel, which has nothing to do with any of this, and the card game is also incompatible with the original Duel Masters card game, but forget all that, because here's what I also watched. Duel Masters Sacred Lands. Kozi, you remember that one? Where they go off on a train to, like, the different places with the different civilizations and shit?
I'm gonna say no. but
Okay, well,
one
that
of
was
the
the
things
sequel
about
series.
Duel Masters, why I thought it had like 5 seasons, was like, it was always on.
Yeah, it was always on. But here's the thing. Okay, so Duel Masters Season 1, 26 episodes, that was translated. Duel Masters Season 2 is not Duel Masters Charge over here. It is not. It's Duel Masters Sacred Land, which is an American exclusive season of 39 episodes. They switched out all the voice actors.
My.
I didn't fucking notice because I was an idiot. And, like, it has a completely, like, no one fucking knows what's going on there because it's not manga accurate at all. So you have, like, 3 or 4 different timelines going on with this fucking series. I need to watch everything now. That's about the conclusion that I've come to.
So basically, what you're saying is that this is more complicated of a timeline of a franchise than the Gundam timeline.
I'm not sure there's a timeline. I'm not sure any of it makes sense.
doesn't have a timeline. They're all like standalone series unless they explicitly state otherwise.
That's a fair point. So, yeah. So that's your overall what the show is doing. I saw the words 800 plus episodes and I was like, what the fuck? What did I miss? I knew Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a lot, but I did not realize this thing was going to be sticking around for as long as it did.
Well,
And yet, this was like the first time I really ever paid attention to this franchise because I never really was like, wait, are they thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I always assumed it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters, but no, I guess
It's
it was
one
wrong.
letter off, man. It's Duel
Of
Monsters.
the Duel.
Yep.
Because I was saying this before we started recording. Again, maybe I just missed it as a kid because I never really got cards, but I would see Pokemon cards in the store all the time. I would see
Right.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I never saw Duel Master cards in the store as a kid.
You know, looking back, I always know the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Pokemon, those were always the most popular ones. I don't know if I always, like, everywhere that I went, I always found Duel Masters cards. Like, if it was Target or something, I don't know. But, like, Toys R Us, I know, always had it. So,
yeah.
it was
Also,
like...
I feel
Mhm.
like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, like, they put those up front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Duel Masters ever made it up onto those shelves. I think it was always back with the toys.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, and that was kind of like you had to find its section. You know what I mean? Because they also had some, not a lot, but like some small action figure. I remember like Shobu's big card, the Ball Shock Dragon or something. That there was like an action figure for that, and like one or two
I
other
would
ones.
say more than the card games. I think I had the figures.
Oh, cool.
I definitely remember having a Shobu one in the Dits.
The Dits.
The girl who doesn't know how to play.
Oh, Mimi. I don't know how much you guys want spoilers.
Yes, I know.
She actually
She's
knows
not
how to play the
actually a
game.
Dits.
What?
She actually knows how to play the game.
Oh boy, does she.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I think this is just a ploy. I feel
Oh.
like she actually does know how to play.
Oh yeah, you
That's
did.
why
Yeah.
she's so uninterested in the matches.
Yeah. So, God, did we talk about plot yet?
No.
We did
It's
not.
it's a card game plot. You know what the plot is. There's a protagonist who's good at card games, and now he's gonna play more card games with more people. Episodic stuff. He's got a cheerleading squad and a mentor played by Keanu Reeves. It's all good.
I really enjoy the fact that they kind of made it still seem nerdy, like with the folding tables.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh! They made it all seem like super high tech.
I mean,
And for this, they're like,
I mean, the cards
yeah,
come alive
we're
in this
playing in
game.
the back room on a folding table.
hey, they knew the reality of what they were going to be doing and what they were selling to kids. Like, yeah. I mean, they do get real monsters as time keeps going on. Like, I don't know. All the
Yeah.
monsters are real, and if you're really good with your cards, you can summon them to reality kind of thing. God, I'm trying to think of like how to do this in a structured format, but at the same time, this is going to be a free-for-all, because honestly, this show feels like a free-for-all.
There is
A
no
bit.
structure to it. Also, you're a few drinks in, buddy.
Okay, yes.
Is
but
it just drinks?
I'm fine. What?
Are you on speed?
I'm
You
not
have
on
me cranked.
speed. No, I have like ADD or something. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I've been off medication for years.
I mean, episode one is just basically the kid playing the card games in the tournament. He wins.
Yeah.
Episode two, you guys said Al said Neo comes in and trains him and sees if he has the potential. And then episode three, we have the Shadow Organization trying to test him to see if he's worthy to join the temple. And you get that crazy psychopath that
Yeah, the evil genius.
fears people into quitting.
Yeah. Don't forget Jim Baru, the redheaded guy in the unitard. He comes back a lot.
You're cutting out. I'm sorry. What was that?
Sorry,
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
Sorry, I forget what his name is. It's something with a J. I keep wanting to say Jiraiya, but I know that's an actual, like, interesting character. The redhead with the green unitard in episode 2.
Oh, the leprechaun.
Oh, that kid comes back?
Yeah, oh my god, does he? He's... Okay, I don't know whose decision this was. He is, like, a full cast member in the Sacred Lands thing, and he's traveling with Shobu and his little buddy. I don't know why.
Oh, why?
It's so weird. I don't know why.
They don't have, like, any... Like, every character they introduce ends up being a recurring character.
Yeah, but some of them are really funny, occasionally. God, I'm blanking on all of them right now, and I'm sad about. First off, well, I mean, Knight's a recurring character. Did you guys like him? I thought he was fun.
Who?
The
Blade.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Knight?
Yeah, his name is Knight.
Knight.
Mr. Knight.
I thought he was okay.
I don't know. I forgot how good.
I will admit, the first 2 episodes of the show, I was kind of checking my phone. I was kind of like about it. But then once they started really breaking the fourth wall in episode 3, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get into it a little bit.
You have no idea, man.
How much they got away with.
Oh, so much.
I mean, every time Neo has a internal monologue, he's breaking the fourth wall, and then the other characters were just during that
They're
match.
reacting to each other's thoughts.
Yeah. No.
Fucking Shobu in his duel with Gokujo, where he's like, "Oh, that music isn't good, so I assume something bad is about to happen."
They changed the music cue.
Or when he's like, the formulaic battle for the protagonist has betrayed me.
But I'm the hero.
I personally thought all that shit was really funny.
It was funny.
There is so much more of it throughout the series. They make just so many jokes about the whole thing. There's like whole thing. I'm trying to think of a couple that were really good. Like there was at one point someone's like trying to spy on Shobu to try to figure out what his strategies are. He's like following him all over the place, and you hear like Shobu and what's his glasses guy?
Leo.
Not Leo. No, that was Ghost Stories. That was last week. Whatever. Glasses kid. They're just like, hey, did you see the show about Did you see the show about the Egyptian card playing guy? Yeah, that sucked. Like, oh, you're directly making fun of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fun. And like, I actually found a clip online when I was just looking some stuff up. So at the end of this season, you guys are okay with spoilers, I'm assuming.
Yes.
He's getting ready for his big match against the reigning champion or whatever. And his dad shows up. He's like, Dad, are you really here? He's like, no, I'm still in disembodied spirit. But I can't actually be here. I mean, we'd be ruining years and years of anime tradition. And Cho was like, anime tradition sucks. Oh, one that was really good. And I don't know whether this counts or not because it's part of that like second season that's not a second season thing. So they're traveling around to a bunch of like the different like lands that all the different like the fire civilization and nature and darkness and blah blah blah. They're going around to all these different ones, and at one point they're trying to find a hotel to stay at. And they go to every single place, and every place is full. The last one they go to is like an inn, and they're like, well, I'm sorry, we're so full. I mean, I'd let you stay in the stables, but like a man and his pregnant wife are already in there. You just make a Jesus reference?
I do have one question. Was the guy who created this, did he mean for it to be like silly?
You know,
or was like he taking it completely seriously? Like, do you know?
I cannot for the life of me tell. I mean, here's the thing. Because I haven't read the manga, I don't know if this is just an anime thing where they were like, let's just have fun with this. Like, I'm not sure if this like originally started as a parody series. The genre is labeled fantasy. Which, okay, sure. Look, if the original intention was to be a Magic the Gathering manga, I think he meant this to be, for the most part, serious. But when he probably couldn't get Magic the Gathering to sign off on it, it was like, okay, everyone's gonna call us a Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoff anyway, let's lean into it occasionally.
Well, just like, there are so many, like, actually silly moments that aren't necessarily attributed to, like, the voice acting.
Right. But at the same time, if you look back at Pokemon, which is also aimed towards about the same age demographic, it's silly as hell, too. I mean, there's a bunch of, like, just random shit.
That's why I'm wondering, like, I kind of want to know his reaction to how it was dubbed.
I mean, I couldn't say that. I don't even know whether he would have seen the dub or not. But, I mean, whatever the dub did, it doesn't feel too far off from what, like, maybe the original might have been anyway. Like it's a silly show. It's a silly kid show. Like, you can't really put that any other way. But
It's super dramatic.
at times, yes. Yeah. How about that early 2000s CGI, though?
So
It
I mean-
held up a lot better than I thought it would.
I
I
hate
mean,
it.
it's bad, but it's charmingly bad.
Yeah.
When you think about what it could have been, I think it holds up really well.
I mean,
That's
it
fair.
does not hold up. It's just not something that's going to make
No.
you want to throw up.
No. So much repeated footage. I don't know if you guys were counting how many times they
Oh,
reused a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
shots, but
Yeah.
I mean,
actually
that's just
was
animation
counting.
in general.
I don't know. I always had fun watching this show. Like, looking back on it now, it's easy for me to be like, oh, this is dumb, or this is weird, or this looks bad, or this is silly. But, like, at the same time, like, I had a ton of fun with this, and I had a ton of fun with it now, too. So, I mean, in some regards, this thing kind of holds up in a lot of ways.
The only thing I did not like when I was younger, and I still do not like now, is that annoying kid with the glasses.
That's always a thing, though. Like, anytime you have a buy our shit series, which is just what my general term for, like, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, whatever, like, buy our shit. You always have the analyzing kid who doesn't actually play the game, for whatever reason.
And he's just annoying.
Yeah,
I think
but...
there are points later on where they tried to make him seem like more charming and not as annoying, but like, ugh.
You know, I saw this in, like, I forget if it was, like, elementary or middle school, like early on. I didn't pick up as much on his little monologue whenever he's standing next to the girl. He's like, just ask her out. This'll never work. But I'm like, boy, does that hit different now.
You know, it's funny too. You know who voices that kid, at least in that version of the dub?
Who?
Debbie Dabbenberry, aka
Mhm.
Jimmy Neutron.
Oh my god, I hear it now. That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
You know what's funny? The girl he's talking to, Mimi, that's Tails from Sonic.
Yeah.
And
Oh, scratch it!
yes. Shobu is voiced by Tai from Digimon in this season. In later seasons, he's Liam O'Brien. Figure that out. Oh god. There's a lot of fun
What's
going
really
around here.
funny is like a lot of these are good voice actors.
I mean, hey, let's throw this out there. Last week, everyone else was also a good voice actor, but, you know, they were like, we know what we're in. I think everyone for this dub knew what show they were in.
I think
Yeah,
they were
but
kind of like, we know what this is, also paycheck.
Yeah.
I definitely think there were bad line reads in this, which is what made it funny. Versus like Ghost Stories, like, yeah, they made the dialogue funny, but like they still voice acted it. Like there were definitely points where it was just the voice actor like reading straight from the paper, not like doing anything with the line.
Okay, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Knight? Because that was intentional. There is a reason he is monotone throughout this entire show, because he is doing Neo. He was like,
Yeah,
this is...
it happens with the other characters occasionally.
Well, they do... I will say this. They do occasionally try, because I know there's a later scene where What's-Her-Face, after she's revealed to actually know how to play cards, and she's actually a high-ranking member of this temple thing, she, like, does a whole spiel about, Shobu, you need to beat the champion because he's become a bad person, blah, blah, blah. And, like, she's all cryy and stuff, and they're kind of, like, looking at her like, why is she saying all these lines like that? She's trying to get an Emmy.
Who does actually voice Knight?
Knight. Oh, God. Hang on. Let me see if I got this up.
The real Emmy performance.
I don't know whether you're, like, knocking him. Okay, in this one, it's Milton Lawrence. I'm not super familiar.
Roles?
Milton Lawrence. IMDb. Well, let's just say he didn't have a whole lot of roles.
I wonder why.
Well, actually, that was the halfway point guy. The guy who voiced him in the first 3 episodes, he was uh, he was Leonardo and Rocksteady in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
What?
Hold up. Is Wikipedia wrong?
It says Milton Lawrence is season 1.5. So
No.
like
It's
half.
1 through 1.5.
I got Cam Clark for season 1 on Wikipedia. Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different guy. You're right. I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong guy. I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm like, there's no way.
I was looking at a different person. Ignore my stupidity.
Okay, who are you looking at and who did they voice? Because now I need to know.
Shobu's father.
Okay, alright. That makes sense.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, Milton Lawrence took over the role for the American second season. That's okay. For Shobu's father. So, yeah.
So he was voicing both Shobu and his dad?
No. Shobu is voiced by... Yeah.
My bad.
Shobu at this point is voiced by Joshua Seth, who is this is okay. So his Wikipedia description is: Joshua Seth is an American voice actor, motivational speaker, magician, comedian, mentalist, and entertainer. I think he does hypnotism, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what a mentalist is?
One
It
of
sounds
the
like
things.
1960s slang for someone who
No.
help.
He helps solve crimes for the California Bureau of Investigations. Points to all you mentalist fans out there.
That's a TV
It's-
series.
Oh.
It's a TV series. I remember watching that.
I think we watched The Mentalist.
Not for anime yay or nay, we didn't. But hey, if you want,
No,
if you're
no,
down for this, I'm drunk
looking
enough.
At Cece.
It's a TV series?
Yeah, live action.
Yeah, it was on
I think it
CBS
was the
back
guy
in
who
the.
was the rip-off psychic.
It's got that one guy from The Devil Wears Prada.
Are you thinking about Psych?
No,
Psych is another
This
one of
feels
those
like
things,
Psych.
but I know what the Mentalist is.
I
We're
might
not
be
getting
thinking
into a
of Castle.
debate about the Mentalist
I
right
also didn't
now.
watch Castle.
I love Castle. It's got Nathan Fillion in it.
Oh
You love
boy, we are
Nathan
off
Fillion.
topic.
Okay.
When are we
game.
not? Let's be real.
Now it feels like we're really off topic.
Well, now I'm going to put a conspiracy theory. Shobu's dad isn't actually good at the card game.
I don't know. I don't think we actually get to see him play throughout the entire series, so...
He, like Gokujo, is just using mind tricks.
Sure. Because he's a mentalist?
Yeah.
Except Shobu's the mentalist, not Shobu's dad.
He passed it on.
Sure. Whatever.
I do
Listen.
believe that Shobu's not actually good. Just convinced everybody else that he is.
Can I tell you what is good about the series?
What?
So, like, legitimately good, is that, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can actually learn how to play this game from watching the TV show. Do you know how they have that little tutorial section in the second episode? That's
Yeah.
actually how you play the game. Like, it does
so
not...
they-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't... Like, it's not that far off.
No. You watch
they
that
just
first
don't,
season.
like, actually lay it out for
Kozi,
you.
rewatch that first season. It's all bullshit. Everything they do is bullshit. Like, I think there was only, like, one or two, like, if I'm remembering my cards correctly, there's only, like, one or two mistakes Duel Masters makes in, like, describing how the game is played. Duel Monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is complete horseshit until you get to Battle City. And even then, there's a lot of horseshit.
I mean, I think they, like, made up abilities for the monsters, but as for the basics of what happens...
Even that is a little suspect, if I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, I'm gonna
They-
have to rewatch this because I definitely learned to play from the show.
Okay, believe me, everyone in my elementary school did, and then years later we were like, wow, we played that entirely wrong.
Okay, the Game Boy games.
Yeah?
Were those not actual, like, dual?
See, those were accurate, more accurate,
Because
and that's
I
why the
went
TV show
from-
was bullshit. because we all played the game.
I went from the TV show to playing those with no problem.
Look, I'm telling you that everyone that I knew learned playing the game from the TV show. And then when we got the video game a couple years later, we were like, why can't we play this game? Because we didn't know how to play this fucking game.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I don't think I believe you.
Okay, I will say later on, as the seasons went on with Yu-Gi-Oh, they did learn how to play a lot better. And they actually figured it out because I think that was based on the manga after the game had actually been made. But the early stuff and the early manga, the early seasons and that, it was before the game was actually invented. And they did not know what they were doing. They were just like, here's the thing.
I definitely
it's fun.
know they made up effects for, like, the monsters in the first seasons.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Huge time. I remember,
that was
okay,
just like...
can I just tell you, can I just exemplify this with whenever Yugi played Mako? Like, the dude has ocean monsters. Okay, great. So he has an ocean field card. That should just power up your water monsters. But no, it also hides your monsters from everybody because they're underwater. That's not how the game works. Then Yugi plays a moon card, which is supposed to just power up another monster. Okay, that's fine. That's how that works. But then as soon as the moon card's gone, the ocean recedes and suddenly all the monsters can't work anymore. That's not how any of that works. None of this works.
That was more Pegasus.
Okay, Pegasus is... Honestly, weirdly enough, Pegasus actually played by the rules more than anyone else. As crazy as that sounds. I think ultimate... You know what? We could have a whole other conversation. We talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, but I think the larger conversation about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that I think Yugi, and more specifically, the Pharaoh inside of the Millennium Puzzle, is so charismatic, he can convince people that he's right even when he's wrong about everything that his cards do.
So, the Mentalist.
Yes, he's the Mentalist! It's all wrapped back around!
I remember them dropping his name, and I was like, seriously?
That's
they built all of these seasons up to a 10?
I mean, that's like the last episode, so it's like, you know, whatever.
I will say, I think one of the reasons Duel Masters has persisted as a series as long as it has is probably because Yu-Gi-Oh! Shot itself in the foot.
How
like,
so?
None of their spin-off series are popular.
I like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I always had fun with that one.
Go back and rewatch GX. It's not good.
Okay, I didn't say it was good. I said it was fun. There's a difference. Well, not always a difference, but there's a difference. I don't know. I like superhero stuff, so like that, like the Jaden guy, he had a fun deck for me.
Yeah, you like Jaden stuff.
I don't like Jaden, but I would like his cards.
5Ds was a total flop.
Never watched it.
Whatever the newer one is with the complete look and twink.
I'm sorry,
Don't even know the name of that.
I think you're 4 series behind on this.
Yeah, no. Definitely. I think the most current one is the kid who has, like, all of their hair combined.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to be more specific, because there are 11 different series of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay,
I don't know where you're at. Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so there was the original season that everyone forgets about because it's not canon anymore, but there was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, spin-off called Capsule Monsters, lasted for 12 episodes, no one wants to talk about it. 5Ds, then Zexal 2, Arc V, Vrain, 7s, and they're currently on Go Rush. They have over 1,100 episodes, man.
How is this also still going?
Yeah, it's still going. Go Rush started in April. Ooh, excuse me. April of this year.
Why do these things continue to be popular?
Because they can keep selling cards, and people keep buying them.
Wow, that looks like a series.
It sounds dumb.
I don't know which series you're talking about.
I'm looking at Go Rush right now. Wow.
Yeah, I heard the words card games on motorcycles, and I was out at that point.
Funny enough, I liked that aspect of, like, maybe accidentally driving to death because the dual monster killed you.
You know what? I don't want to try to speculate how card games on motorcycles works.
I like that more than all the other stuff with the Shadow Realm, where they're like, "Ooh, I'm killing you with magic."
What? No.
Yeah, causing them to die a fiery death because, you yeeted them off of the road or into a building or some shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Except the dragons were real.
Hmm.
Dragons were not actually cards. Like, they gave themselves in card form to their chosen ones, but they were real dragons.
Wait, you actually watched 5Ds?
I did.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, part of it. I don't know how far I got in.
God. I'm trying to think of what else to talk about.
I think we
I got
covered
something.
most of it. Oh, go ahead.
I never watched a card game show before.
Oh,
mean,
God,
I'm
this
not-
was your first one?
I'm not counting Pokemon because it wasn't a card game in the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, this is my first one. I've always been kind of like, that really doesn't feel like my kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
After watching episode 1, I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna make it through 3 episodes of this. This is as bad. This is so much worse than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
But then in 2 and 3, when they started making all, like, the meta jokes, I'm like, okay, I'm in love. I need to keep watching this.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna actually recommend this show to people, especially the dub, because it only gets more weird as it keeps going. And they only keep making more jokes.
Like, I don't give a shit about the plot. I don't care how the card game is played. I'm here for the jokes. They're good.
Can I...
Okay. The series I was specifically thinking of was Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains.
That's pretty recent.
He has everyone's hairstyle.
I don't know what that means. I need to look it up. Yu-Gi-Oh!
He has
Brains.
like 2 separate forms.
Is this the same person on their little poster? One guy's got yellow, purple, and red hair, and the other one's got red and orange hair. Is that the same person?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, they brought back the
See?
whole weird thing. Oh my god, and there he is with just blue and purple hair.
Blue.
My god. He has
He
all
has
the hairstyles.
like every hairstyle.
And none of them make sense.
I'm like, oh, they're really getting desperate.
Okay, I need to talk to you guys about this.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you, I don't know that you guys are going to get to the second season of the English dub, but can I just tell you what the evil people they're fighting against are? Okay, so
Sure.
First season, it's the Temple. It's the guy who made the card game, which is honestly makes me think, oh my god, that's exactly like Yu-Gi-Oh! Now that I think about it, but doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So the evil organization that they're fighting against in the second one is called Ploop.
Ploop?
Sound of a shit hitting the toilet water.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
seriously.
thinking.
Is that an acronym for
Yes!
something?
The Powerful Loyal Order of Princes, Ploop.
That's even worse than Ploop. Powerful Order of Princes. Oh man, the Disney princesses better watch out, man.
This was created solely by America. So the Ploops include Prince Irving the Terrible, Melvin the Conqueror, Pollyanna of Green Gables, Wilbur the Great, Maurice the Merciless, Herbert the Ruthless, and Eugene the Mean.
Eugene the
I
so
hope when
dumb.
you edit this, you edit in all of their pictures.
Except,
Oh my
except
god, I
for
have
Eugene
to
the Mean, it's just the guy from Tangled, but looking mad.
rewatch this whole series now. This is so stupid.
It just sounds like you're saying Eugene the meme. That's all I'm hearing.
Oh.
Eugene the meme.
I mean, you could make
Please-
him a meme.
Please do yourself a favor and look this up right now. Like, look at what they look like.
Okay, hang on. Let me do the thing.
Ploop.
That is...
I forgot about Mr. Baby! Oh my god!
You mean Boy George?
I forgot about him!
Dude, Boy George is fine, but his guardian, Dr. God, what the fuck was his doctor's name? Dr. Root Westhandler. He is so weird. He is so weird and fun. I
God.
have to rewatch this entire fucking series.
They look like bad. What was that show
Scooby-Doo
called?
villains.
Well, they look like bad villains from the '80s, like Saturday morning cartoons. Like they almost look like rip-off Tiger Cat villains.
Yeah.
They do.
So just because I want to hit...
Just knowing the acronym didn't do it justice.
Ploop. Okay.
Every villain is Lemons, also
Otherwise-
known as evil.
Okay.
Oh God! All right, give me
So-
a minute to look this one up. I don't remember.
Oh. What do you need to say? Because I want to talk more about all the weird stuff that they did with the dub.
The Phineas and Ferb one: League of Villainous Evildoers maniacally united for frightening I can't read that word. Investmentation in naughtiness. Or
Was-
love muffin.
I love muffin.
That's good.
Investments in naughtiness. Yeah.
Okay, so because they have to make puns everywhere, I'm gonna read off what I think are some of the better ones for their the names of the episodes. The Japanese episodes were all named like this is a duel, the stealthy shadow, a dark challenger, aim for victory. You know, all the generic stuff. But the names of the English dubbed episodes were like playing with a full deck. It's not easy being green. I'll be a monkey's brother. White boys can't charm. Duels of futures past.
Wow.
Oh god, hang on. What's a good one? Oh brother, where art thou? That's just I don't even know. Oh god, they make a Friends reference in episode 21. The one where Shobu duels Haku. Just duel it.
Duel it!
The crying game.
do it!
Yes, because children need to know about the movie The Crying Game. Do you really want to hurt me? Something wacky this way comes. Oh, what's a manna with you? Oh god, that's only the first season. Let's see here. Attaboy George, break on through to the other side. Duel goes ever on. Go towards the light. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Oh, God, what do we got here? Nature calls. That's always fun. Tournament is fair play.
Nature calls leads to ploop.
Wow.
Oh, God. Deck me, baby, one more time.
Oh.
You sure these people that made this show were inspired by JoJo? Because like with all the crazy shit naming that they did.
They might have been inspired by ghost stories for all I know. One for the mana.
That actually sounds more accurate, only because JoJo, like, I don't think that, like, JoJo as we know it didn't exist.
No, it didn't. One for the mana, duel for the show. Do that duel you duel so well. Boy meets duel. What else?
Honestly, this reminds me a lot more of, like, the episode titles for Mew Mew Power.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
This was at the height of 4Kids, even though this wasn't a 4Kids dub, but it feels so much like it.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I am surprised this wasn't a 4Kids dub.
Nope, it was Plastic Cow.
What was Plastic Cow's name
It was Plastic Cow.
back then?
Plastic Cow.
Why would you name anything that?
I don't know. I think they're still working though.
Well, at least they have that. Are you okay, Envy?
I'm just this whole episode's just been a trip, man.
Oh, okay, here you go. Anime with which his company was involved. Duel Masters. Beautiful Joe. Bo 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 bo. Does that tell you enough?
Wow.
Wah. Did we finish?
I don't know.
Always
Okay.
a reassuring thing to
I'm
step
gonna-
back into.
I'm gonna say this. Because I think we can kind of wrap this up. I feel like we've said. Does anyone else have anything to say? I feel like we've said most of what needs to be said.
No, I don't have anything.
Nothing about
Watch
this.
Watch it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. This is a yay from me. I don't know about anyone else. What other ratings we got?
I got a light yay for me.
Yay.
I would also give it a light yay.
I give it a yay. Watch it if you like ghost stories. Same energy.
I think it's better than Ghost Stories.
It's less raunchy and more just meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, give this a watch. I'm genuinely gonna rewatch most of this series just to find some of the
available
most
for
funny
free.
spots. Yeah, it's on YouTube, it's on Tubi, it's find it pirate. It's on you're gonna find it somewhere. It's a good time. It's a good time. So, next week, we're still not at the point where we're like, we got some stuff coming up that has a lot to do with dubbing. Don't worry. But next week is also a thing with dubbing, not connected to this or the later thing with dubbing. I know I'm being confusing. Don't worry about it. We're watching Garzy's Wing next week. It's apparently, according to Kozi, one of the worst dubs ever made. So I'm in. I'm very much in.
Listen, it wasn't my decision.
No.
It was society's.
It was your recommendation. That makes it your decision for this one. We're blaming you for everything, Kozi. I was blamed
I've never
this
actually
week.
seen it.
So,
Well, oh boy, this will be a trip
was
for all of
this
us.
your
has.
recommendation? I've seen it. This was my recommendation. 'cause
Oh.
I knew it was shit.
Kozi, I apologize for everything I've said. Chibi, this is your fault.
You're welcome.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!